This is a small library I have written. The intent of this library is to utilize functional programming. You have already seen map, filter, reduce, and all the stuff and the associated lambda with that. But you will always feel that whenever if I are going to write lambda inside, there is something which is missing. It is not, it doesn't look like Pythonic. So Pythonic is specific to Python. So we'll say something like, it doesn't look so concise. So it doesn't look good. It looks like I have hard time in reading it. So this library will help you to write concise code. Okay, we will see that how it is going to be. So we have these users, right? We have this so-called users, and then how we normally get the users with salary greater than XXX. So typically we will be getting something like this. Okay, find users of salary greater than, and then results. And if the user salary is greater than that minimum salary, append the result and then get it back. And then the idea there is the results. I'm just going to write a test case for this. So find users of salary greater than 80,000, and then I'm going to print the results. Also, what I will do is I will add an assert statement here. Self dot assert in. Okay, I know the values. So the value is this is greater. So I can specify this, comma results. So this is actually like is this a particular object, or the particular dict is part of this result. So that is what we are verifying here. And then these things. So you can look into this. Just 3 users, right? And then 2 of them has more than 100,000, and 1 person has around 78,000. We will call as 100,000. Yeah, 100,000. And then let me run the test. Okay, the test is passed, which means the 2 users are there. So this is the safety net stuff. We don't want to. Once we are going to refactor it, we don't want to get more issue for that. How can we refactor it? What is the Pythonic way to refactor this particular code instead of having something like this? Okay. So we can use the list comprehension by calling something like this. Right. User for user in users, and then add a condition if user of, we can just copy it, right? Yeah. And then let us run this test again, and let's see what's going to happen. So okay, so the test passes. You can see that you can able to read this one. It is nothing like hard or something. It is just a one-liner, and then people are so obsessed with one-liners, and then you can see that might be the root cause of more problems. To understand what exactly these one-liners are trying to do. Okay, so this particular library which I have written is to address this so-called having the one-liners into multi-liners, and also to ensure how can the same thing can be transformed nicely in a better way. Okay, so let this be there. Let me write, let us call that as v0, and then let me install the library. The library is available in functional streams, and then the version is 1.0.0, and then I'm going to install this in for my app. Okay, so instead of these things, okay, it will also going to have something like bracket, because I want to use multi-line properly. Stream dot create users, and then for importing I'm just going to use streams.stream.stream, which means it's that from streams.stream and import stream. Okay, stream is a class, and from here you can call dot filter. So people who are already been familiar with JavaScript or Java are aware of what these filter does. And then even Python we have filter, which implies actually like you need to call filter and then comma users and all the stuff. Here it will come like chaining. Okay, so in this chaining what I'm going to do is I'm just going to specify lambda user and then user salary is minimum salary, and then dot as list. Okay. And then you can see that it is not one liner, it is definitely 2 to 3 lines. And let me run the test as well for ensuring that whether it is going to cause an issue. No, it hasn't. And then we are going to do one more thing. Okay, so I hate this thing to be coming here. I would like that to be there, so the code look concise. So you can see stream.create users filter salary greater than minimum salary. Either you can have something like this. If you are going to move it on top as a definition, you need to pass this minimum salary as a, and then get a partial, and then you can do it. But this will look comparatively good. Might not be for most users, but often for the users who would prefer having multi-lined proper things. So what if you are going to do the same thing in the existing way of lambda? Okay, so in the existing way of lambda, how we would be doing is you'll be doing something like this, right? So you'll be saying like list of, filter of, and then lambda, and then comma users. Okay. So what it was trying to do, what if you want to see like after you have filtered it, you want to include you don't want the entire users, you just want to know only the names. How you would be doing it? You will be saying like map of lambda of and user colon user of name, and then further you will be saying comma filter off and all this stuff, which is again it was hard, right? It was hard to read here, and at least here it would be like you have the user to be returned and all the stuff. It would be easy like user of name. Okay, but the idea that is list comprehension cannot go beyond a certain aspect. If the same case, if you want to just have send them back just the name, you can use something like this, right? Here lambda user of name. Okay, so this will work effectively fine. It doesn't require any other additional aspect. So you can keep on adding these functions whatever you want. There are so many functions. You have filter, flat map, length, take, skip, peak, and reduce, as list, and all the stuff. And we are still working on it. Is actually a work in progress. It is nothing like we have completed something like that. Let me remove this bad lines. Okay, but the idea there is it will give you elegant way to write code, and then you can able to easily reason what the code is doing instead of having it in single line. Even the for in if, the default everyone is aware of for and if, but if you are going to come up into a functional paradigm, you can easily reason it with filter, map, reduce, all this stuff. It might look like okay fine, why we need to do all this other stuff, but it has an impact. Like you can able to test it easier, and then you can able to reason it easier. The maintenance of code is going to be simpler in a very long run. Thanks for watching this video.